Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and I have some amazing news, at least for me. My Cleveland property is sold. So, this is one of the worst properties I've probably ever bought, and it really didn't even turn out that bad in the long run financially, but frustration wise and just investment wise, it didn't work out exactly how I planned, and it was kind of an experiment buying it in my IRA to begin with. So, we'll show you the neighborhood a little bit. It's an interesting story I know I've talked about before, but this is also right where the Glenville riots and shootout took place in Cleveland in the 60s. And that is why there's so many new houses here and why mine is newer, because a lot of the houses were torn down or burned down in those riots. And there's a lot of vacant lots, really changed the whole area. But this was all houses and buildings before those riots, and now very sparse looking. We'll show you some of those pictures and different stuff too, but my house is prominently featured on the Wikipedia page for those riots, which makes it historic, and I thought would add to the price, and maybe it did. But we'll talk about all of that. So first off, I bought this in my IRA, which caused me lots and lots of problems. I bought through a turnkey rental property company, which caused me lots of problems. I have lots of other videos that go into all the details on that, so I won't go too deep into that, but I'll link to those videos below. But basically, the turnkey company said it was rented, remodeled, ready to go. It wasn't. It was rented, but not remodeled. We had to do an eviction, remodel it, spend some money there. I paid $45,000 for this house when I first bought it, and luckily, the turnkey company did help pay for that renovation since they claimed it was renovated when I bought it. So I didn't have a lot of out-of-pocket costs, except the tenant was there for months without paying any rent. So got that done. Changed property management companies 3 or 4 times because the property management company, the turnkey company first picked, kept going under, changing businesses. Again, I should have picked my own. That was a mistake there. Lots of different things you can do different. The other videos were really going to that. And maybe I should have traded my property and bought that bakery there instead, but I decided not to. So an interesting area for sure. So then we had another problem with a tenant. COVID happened. They stopped paying rent. They're on housing assistance, and they didn't pay rent for months and months. Then it turned into years. And I couldn't evict them because I had the house in my IRA. Cleveland has a weird thing where anybody who does an eviction has to be either a person, and if they're a corporation, they have to be registered in the state of Ohio. Well, I wasn't a person or a corporation. I had an IRA, which you can't just register. So luckily, Ariel with HomeX Property Solutions helped me out a ton in figuring out how to get my IRA, at least name registered in Ohio, when other lawyers, my property management company, all kinds of people could not get it done. So props to her, shout out to her. She helped me get it registered. Then we went to the eviction. Once we got to the eviction, we did cash for keys, got the tenants out. Then we saw the property, saw what it looked like. I'll show you some of the pictures here at the end. And did a light remodel. I had add some money to my IRA at that point. I really have put zero money into my IRA since I bought this property because I'd rather use my property on current investments and not in a retirement account. Personal decision for me. I'm very risk aggressive, not risk adverse. So I actually had to put some money in my IRA last year for the first time in a long time to pay for some of those repairs because I literally have just had this property in there, and it was building up for quite a while with rent, and then it disappeared when there wasn't rent being paid, but we still had to pay utilities, other fees. So it was interesting. So that was the house and the area, and then I was going to show you the Wikipedia page for the Glenville riots here so you can see all the craziness that happened, and the person who went to jail for starting those riots lived in the same address as my house. Not the same house, it burned down, but my house was built over that address. There's my house on Wikipedia right there. And so maybe that was bad juju from the beginning, and I should have paid attention to this stuff. But it was a YouTube video viewer who actually told me about all of this years after I bought the house, which is very interesting to me. So, got the property repaired. We only spent like $8,500, carpet, paint, a few other minor things. Put the house up for sale, and I had lots of people asking to buy this property from me directly, probably looking for a good deal. No problem there. I do that all the time. But I'm not in a position where I need to do that. If I was going to go through the process of evicting people, getting it vacant, I was going to get my money's worth and try and sell it for as much as I could. So Auburndale over there on the left is right where my house was. So the address where the person was, like I said, the house is gone, but that's still on the Wikipedia page too. So we put it for sale for, was it $104,000? I can't remember exactly. Didn't get any offers for a week or two. Then we got an offer for $75,000. I was like, that's not very good. I mean, it's fine, but it's not very good. I've owned this property 9 years. Plus, there's realtor fees, commissions, all of that. And I'm fine paying those too. They obviously earn their commissions on this one. And I think most agents earn them in general. But, for my bottom line, I'm like, I'd like to wait. And so we wait a little bit. And then, like a couple days later, we got another offer for $115, like way over asking price. It was very strange to me why that happened, especially when the house had been for sale for a couple of weeks. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I'm good with that. So we ended up accepting that offer. They did an inspection. I think it was actually investors buying it. And they found a few issues. And instead of me fixing it, they asked for $3,000 off. I said, let's do it. I'm happy with that. And we got it under contract it was already under contract. Then we, changed the price to $112. And I was much happier with that price than $75, obviously. So went through the contract process, and there are a few hiccups because they are selling it out of my IRA. And so when you're dealing with an IRA, I've used UDirect IRA. You can buy real estate, Bitcoin, gold, all kinds of crazy things from your IRA. And it's only certain special companies that do that, but it's perfectly legal. But the IRA has to do everything. So I can't personally pay taxes or pay insurance or, sign. I sign the contract, but I sign it as the beneficiary of the IRA with special wording. All kinds of crazy stuff goes on when you buy through an IRA. It's also very, very difficult to use loans in an IRA. So I did pay cash with this property, for this property. And we got closer and closer to closing. And the title company called me frantically saying, hey, we're supposed to be closing in a couple days, and the IRA says they need 3 to 5 days to review everything. I'm like, yes, it said that on all the emails the IRA has sent and all the documentation from them. I've seen this. I'm like, has this person who I've been talking to, told you that? And like, well, they're not available. So I don't know if they were on vacation or gone from the company or whatever, but they were all frantically trying to get the IRA to sign off on this stuff right away and said it wouldn't close. I'm like, good luck. You can talk to the IRA, but I'm pretty sure they've got to go through this review process, and they can't just, change all of their processes because it's a very strict thing they have to do. And like I said, all the money has to come out of my IRA to pay for repairs, pay for any of this stuff. And anytime I collect rent or anything, that all goes into my IRA as well. I can't take any of that money out or it loses the retirement benefits. I might have tax penalties, etc. So eventually, here's what the property looked like after the tenants moved out, by the way. Eventually, they realized they could extend closing. They got all the documents sent to my IRA. The IRA approved them, and we closed. We sold the house. I have my account funded. I see it with $105,000 in it. And so that is kind of my return on the property, which is okay. It's not amazing. It's okay.